Welcome back to Western Sports Weekly. I'm Amy Wilson. Gary Wells is recognized as one of the most experienced and effective equine neuromuscular therapists in the world. And I'm joined with him now by phone to talk about his career and business. Gary, thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Amy.
Well, I'd like to have you tell us more about yourself and where you're from, if people haven't guessed already.
Well, I am from Australia. The accent is a big giveaway, I'm sure. I share my time between Australia and here in the United States these days, where I am very grateful for the opportunity to be sharing the skills that I've learned over the last 15 years teaching EMMETT therapy for horses. What inspired you to enter the equine industry? Well, I sort of was around horses most of my life, and my wife and I were very lucky to become involved with race horses back in Australia some 20-odd years ago, and over a number of years we either bred, owned or raced over 100 winners on racetracks throughout Australia, and that's been the big part of my involvement with horses over the years. So you're an equine therapist. Explain what you do. Okay. The technique that I use is one that was developed by a fellow Australian called Ross Emmett. And Ross is an expert in treating humans, horses, dogs. If you've got a pulse, he can help your muscle efficiency. And my main focus is the horse. I first started learning this technique about 15 years ago, and about 30,000 treatments later, I'm getting pretty good at it. The technique focuses on balancing the horse's muscle efficiency, and by light touch adjustments, we can reset muscle memory where inefficiency of movement brought about by either stress, injury, overwork, or whatever reason, we can reset that muscle very efficiently, and the horse is much more balanced, soft, and supple. And we've got a motto or a statement: care plus well-being equals performance, because it's all about doing better with your horse partner. Well, you mentioned that you've been doing this for over 15 years and 30,000 plus treatments under your belt. What pushes you to always be so forward-thinking? Well, at the end of the day, the horse is the priority, and I'm continually looking at ways to improve my skill set. And believe it or not, I learn so much from the students that I share with. I do not run a course or a clinic where I don't get something from the students, because I'm blessed to have students who are vets, doctors, osteopaths, chiropractors coming in to learn the technique that I have the ability to share, and at the same time I learn from them. And it's a wonderful opportunity I've been given. I'm so grateful to be able to come to America and share these experiences. Well, speaking of that, talk about Megan Warlick for a second and the Reserve Championship title she recently won. Well, Megan is one of my students, and I'm very proud of her. Apart from being an amazing horsewoman, she also is an amazing therapist, and she's based in Texas and is one of 3 highly skilled horse people who have been trained in the EMMETT for Horses technique. Well, I know you're also the founder and CEO of the Gary Wells Practitioner Group. Explain what that is. Well, it's a group of therapists. We started off back in Australia with myself and 2 of my colleagues who trained with me. We're now in Australia, there's 10 of us. And no one works for me, but we work together, and we promote each other. We improve each other's skill sets by consistently meeting and practicing improvements in the technique, and also to promote each other for what we do with the horses and the riders. In Australia, I'm licensed to treat both the horse and the rider, because the rider, we have found over the years that they often contribute to muscle inefficiency in the horse by either carrying an injury themselves and not sitting straight, or in some way influencing the inefficiency of the horse through their posture. Well, I know you're introducing the new age of horsemanship to America. We're almost out of time, so in about a minute, explain that and how people can learn more about your program. Right. We have a number of clinics programmed already here in America, and we're calling on horsemen and women to come and learn this technique. And I do have a dream that one day we'll be able to teach every boy and girl in the United States how to take better care of their horse by simple, light touch neuromuscular release. And that's my passion. That's what my goal is all about.
Well, I'm sure you're enjoying your time here in the States. We welcome you very much. How can people find out more information about you?
If they go to my website, Gary Wells Practitioner Group, and they can message me either through the website or on Facebook. I welcome all questions, all queries, and I would love to meet and speak with anyone here in America to share what I know and how I might be able to help them in the future with their horse.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for what you do, not only for your students, but also for the horses. We really appreciate your time here on today's show as well.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And can I just provide a big thank you to a group here in America who's been very helpful to me, the 40-something Cowgirls. They're amazing people, and they've helped promote what I'm doing throughout America, and I'm grateful.